This is Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Solve and Write Subtraction Equations. So again, I'm going to be solving subtraction equations by using the inverse. Remember, the inverse is just the opposite of subtraction. And I know that the opposite of subtraction is addition. And we will learn about that property in just a second. So if I'm solving x minus 7 equals 4, some of you already know what x could be, but to double check and make sure, if I'm subtracting 7 to both sides, I then need to add 7, because negative 7 plus a 7 cancels, and I'm left with just an x equals 4 plus 7 is 11. And when I go to check this, 11 minus 7 should be 4, and it is, so I did it correctly. Now for letter B. Again, I'm subtracting 6, so I'm going to want to add 6 to both sides. So y is what I'm left with on the left side, because the 6's cancel. And then I have 8 plus 6, which is 14. When I go to check, I should have 14 minus 6 equals 8. Just plugging 14 in for y. And it is, so it works out. And the last problem, 9 equals a minus 5. Well, again, I'm subtracting 5, so I need to be adding 5 to both sides. The 5's cancel, and I'm left with a on the right side. 9 plus 5 is 14. So when I solve this and check it, I should have 9 equals 14 minus 5. Well, 14 minus 5 is 9, so I did it correctly. So I'm using subtraction problems, so that means I need to use the inverse of addition. Here's the property that I promised on page 537. When you solve an equation by adding the same number to each side of the equation, you are using the addition property of equality. So it's just like we talked about before. If you're doing a subtraction problem, you're using the inverse of addition. So, looking at a closer example, I had a minus 25 equals 52. Since it's minus 25, I want to add 25 to both sides. And then I check my solution at the end to make sure it's correct. Your code word for this lesson is San Diego.